this idea of purity and you're never compromised and you're always politically woke and all that stuff. You should get over that quickly.
Some of you may not have realized that I'm not part of the club. A lot of you listening to me right here, right now, you're not part of the club either. And what I realized with the club is what makes them so mad is when you don't want to be a part of their fucking club.
I'm asking myself, what am I doing here? I am a traditional liberal, which apparently makes me a right-winger these days. Traditional liberalism, women's rights, gay rights, civil rights, not judging a person by the color of their skin, free speech, these are now conservative values.
Look, it's great to see your own face on screen, but don't, please, not on my account, don't put a Polynesian in your thing just because you feel you need to. It has to make sense. I don't want to see one token Polynesian character in your show, okay? That's just weird.
We were going to do an in memoriam this year, but when I saw the list of people that had died, it wasn't diverse enough. No. It was mostly white people, and I thought, nah, not on my watch.
Say LeBron James changed his gender. Can he stay in the NBA? Or, because he's a woman, does he have to go to the WNBA where he will score 840 points a game?
So much has changed so rapidly. It's only been a couple of years since we've learned that women could have dicks.
Because a woman is a woman and a man is a man.
So if somebody's gonna try to blackmail me with advertising, blackmail me with money, go yourself. Go yourself. Hey, Bob.
So triggered by a flag. It's a rainbow flag. You mentioned Regent Street.
I'm not triggered by a rainbow flag. I'm triggered by the fact that everywhere I go for a calendar month, everything has to be a rainbow flag.
Well, I'm triggered that everywhere I go for the entire year, everything has to be straight. Why is straight
Where's
everywhere?
my straight flag?
Why am I constantly
Where
getting
is my straight flag?
Why are straight people holding hands in the
When
street?
have you ever seen a straight flag?
Why has Mickey Mouse got a
Tell me
girlfriend?
one straight flag
Why
hanging
are you
right now
pushing?
anywhere in the world.
Why are straight people
Where
pushing
is the straight flag?
identity
Where's the
onto
straight
me?
flag?
Everywhere.
Where's my straight flag?
It's everywhere.
It's never been a straight flag.
You're a straight flag.
Hello everyone, if you're a new viewer, welcome. If you're a returning viewer, welcome back. If this is your second, third, fourth time watching one of my videos and you are not yet subscribed, we already go together. Okay, make it official and hit that subscribe button. Today we need to talk about Hollywood and wokeness. Hollywood and wokeness go together like a fly and a pile of shit. Is literally the only analogy that I could think of. My point is they go together, okay? Everyone in Hollywood, they always read from the same script and they're always afraid to say anything that can cost them their careers. So that's why it's always a surprise when we see celebrities that push back against woke culture. It doesn't happen often, but when it does happen, we appreciate it. And so in this video, I want to react to some of those viral moments. So without further ado, let's get into it. This first video got Michelle Rodriguez in a lot of trouble when she said it, and she ended up making an apology video afterwards to clarify what she meant. So this is the first video that got her in trouble.
Michelle.
Oh gosh.
Are you gonna be the Green Lantern?
That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
Really?
Yeah, I think it's so stupid for like everybody because of this whole like minorities in Hollywood thing. Like,
well, it's been all over the internet.
But it's so stupid. It's like, stop stealing, all the white people's superheroes. Like, make up your own. You know what I'm saying? Like, what's up with that?
That's awesome.
So that was her initial statement, and now this is the follow-up video where she clarifies what she meant.
Hey guys, I want to clarify about my comment yesterday. I stuck my foot in my mouth once again, and I said that people should stop trying to steal white people's superheroes. And I guess it got taken out of context because a lot of people got offended or whatever. But, like, I have a tendency to, speak without a filter. Sorry about that. What I really meant was that, ultimately at the end of the day, there's a language. And the language that you speak in Hollywood is successful franchise. And I think that there are many cultures in Hollywood that are not white that can come up with their own mythology. And I mean, we all get it from the same reservoir of life, the fountain of life. And it doesn't matter what culture you come from. I'm just saying that instead of trying to turn a girl character into a guy, or instead of trying to turn a white character into a black character or Latin character, I think that people should stop being lazy, and that people should actually make an effort in Hollywood to develop their own mythology. It's time to stop trying to, take what's already there and try to fit a culture into it. I think that it's time for us to write our own mythology and our own story, every culture. So that's what I really meant. And I'm sorry if it came off, rude or stupid. It's not what I meant.
I don't see anything wrong with what she said. She's not saying that minority groups shouldn't have representation in Hollywood. She's just criticizing the practice of taking an existing character and race swapping them or gender swapping them in order to sell movie tickets. I think we can all agree that it's just a very lazy way to pander to audiences. Like, imagine if Marvel Studios said it was too risky to make a Black Panther movie because they weren't sure if it would be profitable, they weren't sure if the character was well known enough to sell tickets, and they weren't sure if non-Black audiences would resonate with the character. So instead of taking a chance on Black Panther, they took Hulk and made him black. Bruh. No one would have watched that movie, and a huge cultural moment would have been missed. Black Panther was a character that had depth. He had lost his father, was dealing with the grief of losing his father, was also dealing with the challenges of becoming a king of a powerful African nation. The movie also dealt with themes of being Black in America versus being Black in Africa and contrasting the two different experiences. It was a movie that had a lot of nuance and messaging that Black audiences could resonate with and that non-Black audiences could appreciate. That type of cultural impact would not have been possible if they had done something like taking Hulk, which is a white character, and just race swapping him with a Black actor. When these movie studios do these race swaps and these gender swaps, what they are telling you is that they want you to spend your hard-earned money and purchase their movie tickets because the movie is diverse, not because it's good. And audiences don't want to be lectured to, they want to be entertained.
Are you not entertained?
The next clip features Charlemagne from The Breakfast Club. Now, Charlemagne, not too long ago, guest hosted an episode of The Daily Show, and he surprised everyone by calling DEI trash in his monologue. Take a look.
Businesses turned to a solution called diversity, equity, and inclusion, or DEI. And the first thing it led to was a shitload of ads.
Real progress on diversity and inclusion doesn't happen without real work.
Say celebrate diversity into your X1 voice remote to discover curated content today.
Every day, General Mills serves the world by making food people love. And inclusion is one of our secret ingredients.
At Kraft Heinz, our purpose is to make life delicious. And we believe we can't achieve that without one essential ingredient: diversity. It's diversity that makes life delicious.
We're on a 400-year-long journey, and scars don't fade. But neither does hope.
Ask your doctor if Black people are right for you. Nobody's buying Vaseline because of diversity.
These DEI ads are the equivalent of someone saying, "I'm not racist because I have a Black friend."
Hey, white friend, try this. Hey, that is pretty good. Hey, Black friend, try this. Hey, that is pretty good.
And the irony is that they do these marketing campaigns to sell more products, but oftentimes they end up being boycotted because they are offending their own customer base. Like when Gillette tried to sell razor blades by telling men that they are toxic, that they have toxic masculinity, or when Tampax got canceled because they said that women are not the only ones who get periods. Yes, we are. Like, razors and tampons are two products that people buy out of necessity. So pandering with diversity isn't even necessary to sell more products. Just make your stupid ass commercials where you use the blue dye and the tampon and your stupid ass commercials where you do the close up of the razor and the stupid CGI hair follicles. That's all you have to do to sell your products. You don't need to do this DEI bullshit. It's weird.
But here's the part where you all stop applauding everything I say. The truth about DEI is that although it's well-intentioned, it's mostly garbage, okay? It's kind of like the Black Little Mermaid. Just because racists hate it doesn't mean it's good. And you know I'm right, because every one of you has sat through one of those diversity training sessions and thought, this is some bullshit. And it's not just you. Over 900 studies have shown that DEI programs don't make the workplace better for minorities. In fact, it can actually make things worse because of the backlash effect.
Yeah, DEI in the workplace often has the unintended effect of marginalizing the very people it's supposed to help. Like, I have spoken to people who are Asian, Middle Eastern, and Black, and I've asked them about how they feel about DEI training in the workplace. I feel like I say DEI weird. Anyways, I asked them how they feel about DEI training in the workplace, and they say that they hate it. It makes them uncomfortable, and it decreases morale. The feedback that I have gotten is that when you are an ethnic person working in a company that is majority white, and that is most workplaces in Canada and the US, because white people make up majority of the population, so they make up majority of the workforce. But when you're in a workplace where most of your coworkers and your managers are white, and your white coworkers and your white managers are being forced to participate in diversity training, the very fact that they are forced to do it causes them to reject it and rebel. Most people don't like being told what to do, regardless of what it is that you are telling them to do. And when it is something that they feel is out of the scope of what their job is, it feels like extra work. Like, if your job is to stack 100 boxes per hour, but now you have to go into an office, do some DEI modules, and you still have to stack those 100 boxes, you will be annoyed. And now indirectly, the blame is being put on the minority people in the workplace, because their very presence now becomes the reason why everyone else has to do these extracurricular activities. And let's be honest, forcing people to participate in DEI training is not going to erase any biases that they have. They will answer the multiple choice questions correctly so that they pass. Then they will continue going on being who they are.
And honestly, I'm not surprised these programs didn't work. And here's why. It's just corporate PR. They want good vibes. And also, they want to cover their ass, okay? Did you know that if a company gets sued for civil rights violations, just having a DEI program will be counted as evidence in their favor, even if the program doesn't do shit, okay? It's the I have a black friend of the legal system. We don't need corporate DEI. Yes, we want diversity and equity and inclusion, but we don't want it from Vaseline.
We don't want it from Tampax either, just putting it out there. And some companies have been more blunt with their problematic DEI training, like in 2021 when Coca-Cola told their employees to be less white. How do you tell a white person to be less white? Like, what does that entail? What, you stop listening to Taylor Swift? You stop eating steak and potatoes? How do you measure your progress? Like, okay, so you start off at Taylor Swift white, and I guess somewhere along the sliding scale we have Chet Hanks, and then we have on the far end of the scale Sean King, even though he says he's black, he's not. Is that the sliding scale? We have Taylor Swift, Chet Hanks, and then Sean King. Is that how you determine how white or not white you are as a white person? I don't know. Next clip.
My starting point when it comes to the consideration of any issue relating to free speech is my passionate belief that the second most precious thing in life is the right to express yourself freely. The most precious thing in life, I think, is food in your mouth. And the third most precious is a roof over your head. But a fixture for me in the number 2 slot is free expression, just below the need to sustain life itself. That is because I have enjoyed free expression in this country all my professional life and fully expect to continue to do so. Personally, I suspect highly unlikely to be arrested for whatever laws exist to contain free expression because of the undoubtedly privileged position that is afforded to those of a high public profile. So my concerns are less for myself and more for those more vulnerable because of their lower profile, like the man arrested in Oxford for calling a police horse gay.
So I had to Google this because I thought he was joking. I mean, it does kind of sound like something that would happen in Canada. It's not something I would expect to happen in England. So I Googled it and I found the article. 6 years ago, an Oxford student named Sam Brown asked a mounted police officer a question. Excuse me, do you realize your horse is gay? Oh my gosh. Brown was arrested. He was arrested for making homophobic remarks. He refused to pay the fine, and the prosecution dropped the case. The following year, a 16-year-old from Newcastle was charged under the same public order law for saying "woof" to a dog in front of police officers. Both were charged under Section 5 of Britain's Public Order Act. The law, which covers both the spoken and written word, stated that a person could be found guilty of an offense if he or she used threatening, abusive, or insulting words or behavior. But what was considered insulting was left to the discretion of the police and prosecutors, an aspect of the law that has drawn strong criticism from free speech advocates. That law is gay.
Or the teenager arrested for calling the Church of Scientology a cult. Or the cafe owner arrested for displaying passages from the Bible on a TV screen. I read somewhere a defender of the status quo claiming that the fact that the gay horse case was dropped after the arrested man refused to pay the fine, and that the Scientology case was also dropped at some point during the court process, was proof that the law was working well, ignoring the fact that the only reason these cases were dropped was because of the publicity that they had attracted. The police sensed that ridicule was just around the corner and withdrew their actions. But what about the thousands of other cases that did not enjoy the oxygen of publicity, that weren't quite ludicrous enough to attract media attention? Even for those actions that were withdrawn, people were arrested, questioned, taken to court, and then released. That isn't a law working properly. That is censoriousness of the most intimidating kind, guaranteed to have, as Lord Deere says, a chilling effect on free expression and free protest.
It's very scary how free speech is under attack all over the world. And it's important that we don't roll over and accept it. Like right now, there are so many so-called democratic countries that are inching towards totalitarianism. And it starts by telling you that you're not allowed to call a horse gay. He probably was gay.
Do you think that it's harder to be a man in America now than it was when you were a kid?
Yes. Saying what you feel, being yourself is what they call toxic. We shouldn't be called toxic for our instincts. I was born this way. What are you talking about? You know what I mean? Why can't we be ourselves? We were born this way, too.
So there are some groups, like if I say I'm trans, and people say, that's great, you were born that way, we affirm you. But if you say I'm just a dude with male instincks, you're not affirmed, you're attacked.
Yeah, everybody doesn't really have to affirm you. If I wake up and say, I feel like a pigeon, and I want everybody to treat me like a pigeon. Some people may say, whatever, Q, we treat you like a pigeon. But some people may choose to be like, dude, no, that's your world. I'm not part of it. And I have to be ready for that. It's a big world out here. Everybody doesn't have to adhere to me.
He was spot on. Not everyone has to affirm you. And that is my biggest issue with this gender ideology nonsense, is the fact that these individuals who believe in the non-binary foolishness, believe in identifying as everything but a child of God, believe in policing pronouns, they are trying to use force to get everyone else to comply rather than just accepting that some people are okay with it and some people are not. Most people are of the live and let live mindset, but if you are going to force something onto them, they are going to push back against it. And in my opinion, preferred pronouns are a matter of politeness and not hate speech. In the English language, we use she, her when referring to females and he, him when referring to males. If you have a female cat, you will use female pronouns. If you have a male cat, you will use male pronouns. We don't decide whether a cat is male or female based on an outfit or a hairstyle. We know whether a cat is male or female based on its reproductive organs and chromosomes. And up until recently, we applied the same logic to humans. So it's crazy to me that it can now be considered hate speech to call someone who is actually a man, a man. People can identify as whatever they want, but they can't force others to join them in their alternate version of reality. Anyways, that's all I have for this video. If you liked it, please don't forget to hit the like button. Show your girl some support. When you hit the like button, it helps other people find my videos in the algorithm. So I appreciate it when you guys hit the like button. If you are not yet subscribed and you've made it to this point in the video, okay, you might as well stick around a little while. So hit that subscribe button. If you liked this video and you would like to see more videos just like it, I will have 2 more videos for you in the end cards. Don't forget to find me on Instagram. You can find me at NissCee.Social. I will see you guys in the next one. Take care. Bye.